Hello everyone. This is a quick video I've been meaning to get around to now for the past several months, and I actually posted a short a few months ago that I was going to do a top 10 personal list of the greatest film actors in cinema history, in my opinion, and I just never got around to it. I've been posting so many other videos as well since then, so many other multiple shorts on my channel, but I wanted to just get around to this and just jot down the quick names of the actors that on a personal level, not per se in any particular order, but if I'm counting down from 10 to 1, it's tough. For me, this is tough. Because, when we make these kind of lists, it's always going to be subjective, right? There's always going to be fans of film who have certain actors higher than others, and film fans that may not have certain actors on their top 10 that might be on your personal top 10 list. And that's okay. That's what makes us fans of cinema. But my personal list, if I had to go back from 10 to 1, oof, this is tough. So, in no particular order, but I would say I'll put Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, Denzel Washington. That's so tough. Who else would I put? Humphrey Bogart, Sidney Poitier, Jimmy Stewart, James Dean, James Cagney, and Marlon Brando. That would round out my personal top 10 list of the greatest actors of all time. Now, this is an extremely tough list because my list does constantly change. The order, the rankings of these actors constantly change, but many people personally wouldn't put somebody like James Dean probably in their top 10, but his talent and what he was able to achieve in 3 films, it has just on a personal level always been extraordinary to me. And I feel had he lived, in my personal opinion, within 3 to 5 years, I highly believe he would have exceeded Brando and Cliff. And I'm not saying Paul Newman wouldn't have been a huge movie star and a great actor in his own right, because I don't think anybody would have stopped Paul Newman from having a huge career. And he rounds out, he's in my top 20 for sure, as is Montgomery Cliff. But just on a personal level, it's hard because certain actors, their talent and their charisma just completely speaks to you, and I feel like Dean was one of those actors. I feel there were actors that were better than Humphrey Bogart and had more range and could play a variety of characters, but Bogart had a sort of magical screen presence where you felt something when you watched his films. He had a look, he had a voice, a charisma that few, if any, have ever been able to really channel thoroughly. And there may have been better actors even in his generation, but Humphrey Bogart was tremendous. I think Cagney might have been a little bit more gifted, so still got to put Cagney in my top 10. And just that generation of Pacino, De Niro, and Nicholson, it's impossible to not put all 3 of them in my top 10. They've delivered some of the greatest acting performances of the last 50 plus years, looking back on it. And, at the same time, you're always going to leave somebody out who's worthy. I mean, I'd love to put Charlton Heston on there. I'd love to put Laurence Olivier. I'd love to put Daniel Day-Lewis. I'd love to put Dustin Hoffman. I'd love to put Gene Wilder, Clint Eastwood, Tom Hanks. But it's a top 10 list, and it's extremely difficult to really put everybody on that list, and you're always going to leave somebody out who's extremely worthy. Morgan Freeman's high up on my list, but I'm not going to bump out Sidney or Denzel just because I feel like their body of work, and it's no disrespect on Morgan, but I just feel the performances and the types of films they've done, the quality of those movies are just completely on a different level. And they've just crafted so many great performances, and it's hard not putting a lot of these guys on the list, even Gregory Peck or Edward G. Robinson. I mean, Paul Newman, you can make a strong case that any of these guys belong on this list. Steve McQueen, we can go on and on and on. Sean Penn, many will put DiCaprio way up there. I mean, all these are great actors. All these names I've mentioned are easily in my top 25 to top 50 list of all time. But if you're sticking with the top 10, I'm going to have to just stick with my gut, stick with the names, the actors that have meant so much growing up, whose films I constantly watch again and again and again on a regular basis. And without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to stick with that top 10 for now. If I ever do change it, I'll upload another video down the line and maybe readjust it slightly. But for right now, I'm going to say Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, Humphrey Bogart, Jimmy Stewart, Marlon Brando, James Dean, and who was my 10th? No, I'm leaving somebody out. Oh, James Cagney. Yeah, I will stick with that top 10 for now. I know most people will say you're crazy to leave out somebody like Daniel Day-Lewis and a few other names throughout cinema history, or Laurence Olivier, and most people have them way, way up there. But again, this is just a list. I'm just looking at just male actors too, because if you want to get technical and you add actresses on the list too, my top 10 will probably slightly change pretty drastically, because Bette Davis is up there for me, and Katharine Hepburn, two of the greatest to ever do it, in my opinion, on the actress side. But if you're adding actors and actresses, and I were to put them on that list, that would probably change up my list drastically too. But just on the male side, that would probably be my top 10. Top 10 actresses, I'd probably say Bette Davis, Katharine Hepburn, Meryl Streep, Joan Crawford, Barbara Stanwyck, Audrey Hepburn. Ooh, it's tough. Vivian Leigh. Who else is going to make that list? It may not be a popular opinion, but I'd probably still say Jodie Foster, because I think she's delivered some tremendous work over the years. Two more spots. Who would fill that? Who would fill those spots? That's a tough one. I'm gonna go maybe Jane Fonda. That's tough. And right now, presently, I would probably say it's a toss up between maybe Cate Blanchett, Frances McDormand. I just believe Blanchett has much more range. McDormand's amazing. I love all her films from Fargo to Three Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, and Nomadland. But yeah, I'm gonna probably have to go with Cate Blanchett. I just think her talent is Meryl Streep level. If we're gonna assess a top 10 greatest actress list of all time, 10 plus years from now, I may have to reassess that list again and change something, because I really believe presently Florence Pugh is going to find a way to be on that list in the next 10 years or so at the rate she's going. But that's a discussion for another time. Presently, I'm just going to leave my top 10 at that, male and female, of the greatest actors and greatest actresses of all time. It's a tough list, but I think I'm going to stick with that right now. Like I said, once again, I might reassess this list months down the line. And, you know, sometimes when you rewatch certain films, certain performances, that might kind of have you bump certain names a little bit higher possibly. But I don't know. We'll see. I think for right now, I feel good about it. I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. Well, anyway, this was just a very quick video vlog. A little bit of a personal opinion. It's not a definitive top 10 list probably in the majority of movie fans' minds, but personally, on a personal level, these are the actors and actresses that, from a personal standpoint, I gotta put way up there too. And even on the actress side, there's a lot of names too, I feel like, that I've left out too. I mean, I'm a big Diane Keaton fan too, and there's a lot of other great ones. Kate Winslet comes to mind. I mean, you could go on and on. Obviously, you know, I think even like Viola Davis is easily getting closer in that top 10 if she's not already in there right now. So I mean, I might have to reassess that list once again in a few years. And then also even Angela Bassett, you know, she belongs on there too. But you know, my top 10 list of best actresses, I'm gonna stick with it for now, but I might have to adjust that a few months down the line. But for the actors presently, I'm gonna stick to that top 10. The actress list is still kind of up in the air, because really thinking about a few other names, and you know, Viola has done enough stuff where she arguably kind of deserves to be in that top 10 as well. But it's something to think about. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your own personal top 10 actors and actresses. Let me know what you agree with on my list, if any. If you don't agree with any of the names at all, that's good too. I'd love to hear what everybody's personal viewpoints are, and who you personally have way up on those lists too, and what actors move you every time you watch their films. And you know, we'll have great feedback, and I'll definitely respond as quick as I can to everyone. But thanks for hearing my quick little ramble, and you know, hearing what my personal top 10 lists are in this regard. But I'm gonna leave it at this, and hope you all agree, and hopefully if not, I can definitely get some input and see what everybody thinks on their personal viewpoints on this video. Well, thank you again, and once again, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We're gonna constantly every week have new videos coming in, regular long form videos such as this, and very quick shorts as well, which I'm uploading almost daily, of various movies from the past and present of different film genres as well. So definitely check those out, as I'm constantly posting 2 or 3 almost every day. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll leave it at that. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye.